Self-improvement sounds like a good thing. But what if it's actually the reason why you feel like you are never enough? Because a lot of people don't improve to grow. They improve to fix what they believe is broken. There are a lot of books out there that tell you to do more or to sleep less or to be more productive, right? And yeah, to do just way more than you have done ever before, for example. Or they say like, once you have done this, then you're someone, right? Right? Once you have done this, then you can feel worthy. And this is the subconscious message. You need to fix yourself. You need first to do something until you can finally feel worthy, right? So it's about a lot of these messages in the seminars or books or courses is you need first to fix yourself, right? To fix something, and then you are worthy. But this is exactly how it doesn't work. So it's basically improving, but out of self-denial, right? Denying of one's self. And this is how I started it. I started at the start of, using a lot of these things, but I actually was not accepting myself. And I have seen it in many, many people since then, right? And this cycle continues then, because the more you then use these things, first of all, it's way more difficult to attain success, because the more you believe to be broken, you not accept yourself, right? The more you're in a negative state. And this state regenerates itself. So you attract basically things on this certain state that you are. So if you're in a fearful state, you feel like a lack, then you will attract more lack. So you try to be successful, but then you're in a state of lack, an emotional state of lack. At the same time, you wonder, why is it that success is so hard? Or maybe you have it, but then you go again 2 steps back. You have to start again. Okay, so this is one mistake. And what helps there is to be mindful of that, maybe even spending one day just with yourself. And when I mean with yourself, I don't mean while using Instagram or anything else. Just look, how do you feel with yourself if you don't do officially productive things? If you're just maybe alone with yourself, like in the nature. Okay, just how do you feel? In best case, you also don't eat much, because it gives also a lot of dopamine, you know, like away from the internet, from computer and all these things. There you can just observe how you do feel actually with yourself, right? Like what is happening inside of you. And it stops also the momentum of being in a loop of constant grinding, not being able to detach from that. If you feel like you're missing something really much, or like you're devaluing yourself, this is because you were so much attached to grinding, right? Like your self-esteem dependent on that you needed to fix something, to do a lot. And another thing that's in personal development space a lot of people don't talk about is that I've done that in the past as well, and this is why I also talk about it. I talk through experience. A lot of people use this knowledge, the books or the seminars, to consume, but not to embody someone. So it's about consuming or trying to fix, but not to embody. So it's about being doing productive things rather than being more. And that's the thing. That's the mindset hack. Rather than focusing on doing more, focus on being more and having the right balance between doing and being. I don't mean like stopping completely action at all, but focus on being more. What do I mean with this? So I was reading sometimes a lot of books in the past, but I was focusing on the wrong things. I was reading, like, for example, one book per week, right? But the thing is, I was not implementing. I was neither implementing that, nor did I make it a part of my personality, a part of my identity. Once you integrate these things as a part of your being, it becomes a part of you. And for that, you need to be able to let go also. You need to be able to let go and become empty, to let in new things in. and to implement it as a part of you by thinking new ways. For example, you think then, let's say you are not a disciplined person. Now you start to think like, okay, I'm a disciplined person, or I can be disciplined. If you practice that also through visualization and other things that I have talked about many times in my other videos, if you practice these things, while of course taking some action, but not necessarily in the way that you have to grind 24/7, then it becomes a part of your being and you become more. Okay? If you try very hard to force things, what you prove yourself by consuming them, by fixing them, is that you're not like that. So the more you try to prove something, the more on the subtle level, actually, subconscious level, you tell yourself, I'm not that. I'm not like that. So the more someone tries to prove themselves how disciplined he is, by forcing things, the more he disbelieves actually that he's disciplined. That's the paradox of it. No one talks about it. Okay. These were the two traps that I've seen. And here comes now the third trap that I've seen many, many times in the personal development space, like so many times. This is just my personal opinion now. My personal opinion is a lot of people, they never question these things in the books, seminars, or whoever said as an authority. So when I was starting the personal development space, really, to be honest, I was looking down on people. Like, yeah, fuck them. They're like that. They don't do anything of these things. I do the stuff from the books. I'm better than them. But the problem is I was still just blindly following these books. So I was actually exactly like the people who I was looking down at. Okay? So I was looking down these normal people who are blindly following the stuff from what other people say. And I was blindly following these personal development motherfuckers. Okay? And that's an issue what I see. So people never learn to question these things. When you read books or you do something else, go to workshop, question these things. Just because an authority doesn't mean it's true, right? Ask yourself, do I know guarantee that this is absolutely true? If not, then this is just an affirmation. You can choose to follow that or not. Another thing that you can ask yourself, do I do this now because there's a valid reason that it can work? Or is it maybe that I want to experiment with that? Or do I do this just because everyone else makes that? Or because someone is convinced that it has to work out, like my mentor or whoever, right? My mentor or whatever, another person that I know who makes personal development is convinced it has to work out, and I'm also following that, right? Question things by asking them if you know it's absolutely true, whether it makes really sense, and where you have this information from. How do you know that it's really true? How do you know that it really works? Otherwise, everyone's just following blind these things and praising like they are gods, but then at the end it won't. It will be just another trap. It will be just another trap by following these blind orders. Okay, and these are the three big traps in the personal development space that I think not many people talk about. Like the first one is to try to fix something of oneself, or to work also more, to grind a lot, to finally be worthy, right? To feel accepted, to feel good enough. This is what I mean, right? And right, at the end, I want to say a lot of these things, being worthy, doesn't come by doing more. It comes by letting go more, by letting more things go, right? I made a video about this in this one, okay? And letting go is exact opposite than doing more. It requires being with yourself, right? And allowing you to re-experience this pain. And you will know more information in the video that I recommended. Because there's step by step. Because just for that alone, I need at least 10 minutes. Okay? So it's being with yourself. And the second one that I said is about consuming rather than being more. Rather than having a balance between being and doing. It's about consuming. Consuming a lot of things. And the third one is questioning things. Even authorities and even personal development people and people from podcasts, question whether it fits to you, right? Whether it makes sense, how do you know that it's really true? How do you know that it's true for your unique situation, right? Like, how do you know this? Maybe a person is in another stage, you're in this one. So that what they do won't work for you. People never question that. They see these authorities, they have a lot of status, they try to replicate that, but it just doesn't work. So at the end, people just follow again blindly, but now in the personal development space. It's the same issue actually that was before when they were living the normal lifestyle. Okay? Comment below which tip helped you the most. That will help me a lot. So which tip did help you the most from all these three? Which one did you needed the most? And I see you next time. Bye-bye.